Hi everyone, this is Heike and welcome back to Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. If this setup looks familiar to you, that's because it is still Wednesday the 22nd and I have decided to record one more WIP Chat working on my mystery project. You are going to see this one after my mystery project is finished, so please go back and check this out if you haven't done so yet. I will link it up here, I guess. I thought I still have some time left today to record, even though my voice feels like it's going to be gone very soon. I'm no longer used to talking so much. What 6 months in a different job can do to you, I tell you. So yeah, I thought I would try this. Let's just talk freely without any topic or stuff like that once again. Let's see how this works out. And maybe tell you a bit about what has happened in the last few weeks, because I know I have not been as productive as far as my output both on YouTube and Instagrams go as I have been in the beginning of my channel. It's very odd after only, I think, 5 weeks or 6 weeks to say the beginning of my channel. But yeah, there had been a change due to work. So first off, I'm still blown away by all your reactions to my videos. I have to say I was very, very anxious to start this channel because of this whole thing about putting yourself out there and trying to make these videos and doing them in a language that is actually not my native language. And I don't know what I really expected, because I already knew that diamond painting community is actually a very nice, loving community most of the time. So yeah, I don't know what I expected, but I guess I expected the worst and I got the best. So I'm super impressed so far. We are slowly but surely approaching the 300 subscriber mark, which is mind-blowing to me. And I know a lot of people say that, but really I really never thought I would find a lot of people interested in my channel, because I'm the 500th channel on YouTube doing diamond painting stuff. I really didn't think anyone would watch more than one of my videos, and that's probably by accident. So thank you very much. I know that YouTube actually doesn't want people to do giveaways based on subscription numbers, but if we manage to get to the 500 mark, and that's a big if, I know, I will think of something, and I will, like many of you, not advertise it in any video title or anything, but in one of the videos I will hide a little something to say thank you at some point. I have no idea when this will be. I mean, my channel is growing slowly, and I don't know how long it will, because at some point we will have to have reached saturation point, but let's hope that is still far, far away and people will still find my channel and still think, for whatever strange reason, I like listening to this rambly person. This rambly, giggly person with the annoying cat. I think she is very fed up with me right now, after I've been scolding her in the last WIP Chat for I don't know how many times. She's now lying on her chair and pretending to sleep. She's not actually sleeping. As long as she hears me talking, she is not really going to sleep, because she's afraid she's going to miss the action. So let's see, any more cues here? Anyone of you see any cues? Please scream if you do. I probably overlooked something, I always do. But at least now they are on the right symbols. Yay! So, what else? I had a huge backlog replying to your comments, but I have now caught up, so Everyone who left me a comment should have some kind of reply. If you basically left me the same comment on multiple posts of mine, I love that. But please understand that I can't answer to all of them. Because I don't want to copy and paste, but on the other hand, I don't know what else to say. So if there's something you want me to reply to, just point that out to me if I missed that. But I should have replied to everything. A few people requested links. I have provided them. If you have not gotten any kind of notification from YouTube, please go back to that comment you posted and you will find my answer. I promise. I try to provide as much information as I can. So yeah. And if I missed something, please let me know and I'll go back to that. That was not my intention to do if it happened, but sometimes it does. Yeah, that's YouTube. On to the less fun stuff, which is real life. So I didn't have a lot of opportunity to film in the last couple of weeks because of work. I traveled quite a bit. I got a bit of a surprise project right before I went on vacation. So this year I've been hired to be a project manager for office relocations within my company, and I don't want to badmouth the company or the group I'm working for. It's actually not my own company within the group, but the overall group is very chaotic. As in, they know that they have offices where the lease agreement runs out. They know when it runs out, and yet they let real estate run around in circles trying to get approval for an office relocation for 6 months until the termination of the lease, and the unmovable fact that the people in these offices don't have a place to go is only 2 months away. And then suddenly they approve everything and I get it as a project on my table and I think, what the hell are you thinking? I mean, we are not talking huge offices. It's offices less 20 people working in there. But even for your private apartment move, you calculate a lot more preparation time than a few weeks. So basically, I got this project assigned to me Good Friday week. I was on vacation the week after, so the kickoff was the week after that. And the actual relocation is supposed to happen on June 12th. You can imagine this is horrible. So I had to visit all the offices last week. The city we are talking about is at the other end of the country. I didn't get approval to fly, so I had to take the train, which was on the way there a 6.5 hour travel, and on the way back a 7-hour travel. I did have a whopping total of 7.5 hours I could spend in 3 offices. Once again, not in the same place, but on different ends of the city. I was not allowed to take a taxi to go from point A to point B. I had to do everything using the subway or go by foot, depending on where I was, which cost a lot of time, once again, as you can imagine. Especially since I was not, or I am not familiar with the city, and I kept getting lost. This was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. And today I learned I'm supposed to go back for the actual move. I don't want to. I really don't want to. Anyway, just as bad as the travel as such were the people I encountered in the first office I went to. What is it about certain people that they feel super entitled? I guess all of you working in an office have sooner or later been introduced to the concept of open plan offices. Usually these days people don't have their own smallish offices any longer with just one or two or maybe a few people in there. It's usually big open plan things where you're just one of many. You have your cubicle and you deal with it. And this company, this is, for some of the units, something that is unheard of. So I don't know how many times I heard the exclamation, "That's not going to work, that's outrageous, then I'm going to quit." And it's very hard to keep your composure and not to answer, "Well, then go ahead and quit, I don't give a damn." Because I really don't. It's not my issue. If they want to quit, that's up to them. So yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. Thankfully, it was only part of the people I had to deal with. The other half was actually pretty good to work with. They had realistic expectations. They didn't think that attacking me like a bunch of wolves was going to get them anything. So yeah, that was a much better experience, but quite honestly, that was the end of the first day, so I couldn't appreciate it as much as I would have liked. And it has just cemented my... I already had decided that I didn't want to do this job any longer than I had to, which means until the end of October. And this has just cemented that for me. I don't want to do this. It's just ridiculous. I'm not used to work like this, to just fumble around and somehow cobble it together and hope for the best. And so yeah, you have probably already guessed I'm a perfectionist. So I like to do things right, and I like to do them right away. I don't want to do it somehow and then have to go back and fix stuff that didn't need to happen in the first place if you've just had enough time or enough resources or used your damn brain to do this. So yeah, fun. This was one of the reasons I didn't have a lot of time last week, because this basically cut off my whole week. I couldn't film on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I threw in this quick unboxing. Well, not completely true. I filmed the EM Fun Store unboxing on Wednesday. But that's all I managed. I wanted to do a WIP Chat. I basically, my plan is to do a WIP Chat every week, to do whatever unboxing we have, to actually diamond paint, so I have final reviews to show you. I didn't do a whole lot of diamond painting either, and if I did, it was on these flower paintings I wanted to finish for this project, which I thought would be a fun little project, quickly finished. How wrong I was. Right now it's Wednesday, and I still hope to have the paintings finished and ready for final review by next Monday, I hope. I think I'm going to finish the actual painting on the weekend. I'm not sure if I can manage that before, but even if I can, I'm not filming on Saturday and Sunday. So I don't expect to film the third part of this mystery project before Monday anyway. But the plan is to have this finished and to go back to regular diamond painting next week. So I have things that I can post on Instagram. And hopefully I will have time to shoot a bit more. Yep. If I find things to talk about, quite honestly, because there is not much going on I can talk about, and I don't know if I want to do a bunch of tags instead. I will do the diamond painting tag, I know that, because they have created it just for us diamond painters. So of course I'm going to do that one. But then we'll see. I mean, if you have anything you would like me to talk about, like for example, I used this question by one of my viewers about which stores I could recommend or not for my last WIP Chat, which was part 2 of the mystery project. Please go ahead and let me know. If it's something I can do, I will absolutely consider it. So, or if you have just a question, I mean, it doesn't have to be something I can talk about for a whole hour. I can do shorter WIP Chats too, no problem. Then please leave a comment below and let me know. I'll try to do my best. So, what else was fun? When I planned this travel, I asked our travel service to look up hotels for me, because we have right now have a very strict budget line for hotels. It used to be 100 euros a night, which is okay for most places. There are some where this is very, very cheap. It's hard to say cheap when you talk about 100 euros for just one night in a hotel, and we're not even talking breakfast included. We're just talking bed and shower. But some places are just expensive, and 100 euros don't get you very far. But they recently even cut that down to 80 euros, which is, in the city I went to, nothing at all. So I asked them to look up hotels that weren't too far away, because once again I was not allowed to use a taxi, so I would have to take trains or buses, and I didn't want to have to go on a wild goose chase to find my hotel on top of everything else. I already was pretty sure this trip was going to be a nightmare, and it was. Yay. So they offered me 3 hotels. 2 were not in the vicinity and 1 was, and I gave the cost estimation to my manager and asked him to approve it so I could actually book it. And I didn't hear back from him. So I called him at the end of the day and told him I really need to book this. The customer is going to pay for this, so don't worry. And then he said, yeah, I know, but I'm still looking for a different hotel for you, because this one I can't have a woman walk down this street maybe after dark on top of everything else on my consciousness. So yeah, okay. Looks like the hotel they were going to book me were right in the middle of the how do I put this nicely? The red light district. Is this a thing? Not the official one, but the cheap one on top of that. A lot of drugs, a lot of unsavory things going on there, and the hotel was smack in the middle. So he basically was looking for a different hotel. He couldn't find anything within the 80 euro limit we had. So he told me, wait until tomorrow. I'm going to contact person XYZ. It's one of our executive managers in the company, and I'm going to get an exception for you that you can book something up to 100 euros. Then you can book the hotel that is right next to the office. This will be easier for you, and the hotel is actually quite nice. You don't have to walk down Hooker Street. So yeah. He did manage that actually. I could book this other hotel. It was not the one that was literally quite next to the office, but the one that was about 300 meters down the road. So that's nothing. That was a 4-minute walk. Booked that one, and that hotel was interesting. It was really interesting. So it was nice, it was clean, nothing to complain about, but it was also very red. I mean, it was called Ruby. It's a hotel chain. They have their name, and then they have something added to it. And here in Stuttgart, it's actually called Camino, which I think is maybe the Italian version of Carmine, and I expect that this hotel is going to be very red as well. And the one there was called Ruby. So everything except for the walls and the curtains and the wood furniture in that room was red. Very red. The carpet, the bed, the chairs. What else did we have that was red? So everything was red. The lobby was red. The building on the outside is red. I didn't notice that because it was right now it's covered in tarp. I think they are reconstructing or constructing something on the building, and they usually cover the whole thing up. But I looked at the picture of the hotel, and the whole hotel is red on the outside. And then I checked their suites, and there's one which is called the Red Room. And that thing is completely red. Walls, lighting, everything, the curtains, everything is red. I think if you actually stand in this room, it will drive you up the wall. All this red. It's really insane. But it was a nice hotel. Can't complain about that. The lady at the reception was a bit surprised when I told her, no, I don't want to book your 20 euro breakfast. Thank you. I actually brought my own food. I mean, I didn't tell them, but I'm not paying a bunch of money on something I don't actually have the time to enjoy. I mean, if I travel for my own pleasure and I spend time in a hotel, then okay, I'm going to book the big breakfast buffet and I'm going to actually make good use of that. But if I have to be in the office early in the morning, and I'm not much of an early breakfast person anyway, I'm not going to make any good use of that, and 20 euros is a bit too much for that, to be honest. She was very surprised about that. I don't know why, because I can't be the only person who doesn't want to pay 20 euros for a breakfast. But she conceded at some point and let me go to my wonderful red room. Slept very well, even though the night was way too short. That's one of the reasons I don't like to travel in my own time. It's not something I enjoy. I don't like to be away from home. And I even less enjoy traveling for the company because it's usually very hectic, very stressful. People tend to say, oh, you're going there and there, that's so nice, I wish I could do that. And you try to explain to them, you know, I'm not going to see anything of the place I'm going to. I'm going to be at the airport, train station, whatever. I'm going to transfer from there to the office. I'm going to transfer from the office to the hotel, and that's it. By the time I'm at the hotel, I'm completely done in. I need to sleep. And I'm not going to go out and paint the town. I've never done that when I was younger, and I'm for sure not doing it now that I'm no longer young. But people don't get it. It's just like working from home. And they tell you, it's so nice to work from home. I wish I could do that. Yeah, but you know, but the problem with working from home is you never stop when it's time to stop. You just think, okay, I'm just going to do this. No, I'm just one more thing. And suddenly you realize you have gone an hour or two over your actual working time. And that happens all the time, believe me. So same if you work flex time like I do, so I don't have a fixed start and end time. I just have basically the frame I am supposed to work 8 hours a day. But I can also work more and just work less on another day or save up to 8 hours and take a day off and stuff like that. And this is something which is actually abused a lot, because then it's expected if something comes in on short notice, like for example you started working at 8, so usually you would be eligible to go home or to shut down your computer at 4:30, and then you get a call which is supposed to start at 5 and lasts about an hour. You are expected to do this. You can't just say, no, I've been in at 8 and I will go at 4:30, thank you. Nope, you are expected to take that. So these drills in the tray are right now a bit clumped together, and this is the color which was oily. So if I run out, I have to wash drills first. So I'm trying to use up all the ones that are not clumped, and then I will use my Archer's Art drill thingamajiggy to get the clumped together drills separated, and then see if this is enough. If not, I will have to pause the video, I guess, or come back to this color later. So yeah, back to topic, even though I don't know where I'm going with this, but let's just talk. Let's just ramble. So these are usually things that people misunderstand quite a lot about my job. I don't know why. But believe me, if you travel on the job and you're not lucky enough to work for a company that is currently swimming in money, they are not going to give you time or opportunity to enjoy the place you are at, because everything will be so tight that you are pretty much running around all day, fall into bed, run around all day again, and then try to catch your, in this case, train to get home. I think these drills are still slightly oily, because they keep falling off my pen, which is very annoying. I did give them a wash. I'm not sure what this is about. So yeah. And I was hoping I was done with this, but now today I actually learned that either I or this other person on the team are supposed to be there for the actual move next month. I'm going to try to have the other person travel, quite honestly, because she said she wanted to get out of the office. Then please be my guest, because I don't want to do this again. It's not something I enjoy. Sorry. Sometimes I wonder if it was a mistake to leave my former job. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't have been much fun for much longer either, for very similar reasons. I mean, no traveling. There was no traveling in that company Yeah. What's it they say? Hindsight is 2020. I agree. Pick it up. Anyway. Oh, stretching my back a little. So yeah, that was the not fun part last week. This week so far, of course, I had my usual Tuesday travel yesterday. The weather here in Germany was horrible. We had so much rain overnight. And it was still raining cats and dogs when I was driving yesterday morning and also yesterday afternoon, but yesterday morning was worse. Oh, dear God. It took me 4 hours to get there. It's usually a 2.5 hour drive. So, yeah. Once again ran into a lot of traffic jams, which I did not appreciate. I put my wax somewhere here. And the way back was actually not a whole lot better. It didn't take me a whole 4 hours, but it took me slightly over 3. Not too bad, but also not good, because at some point you just want the freaking day to end. So right now, I have about 1.5 days of overtime I need to get rid of very soon. I don't know when, because right now I'm in the middle of this crazy project, which doesn't give me a lot of opportunity to take time off. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go offline a couple of hours early today. That will give me more time to do some videos. I had a few unboxings. And I also wanted a WIP Chat. Now I'm doing 2. Yay me. But this is actually going to be my last video of today. And let's see. I'm probably going to go online tomorrow and someone will complain that I was offline at 3 in the afternoon. Which is, yes, you did the math correctly, not even a couple of hours. It was just 1 hour and 30 minutes early. But I have to get rid of this time somehow, or I will get a very nasty reminder from my HR person that I'm not supposed to do this. You know, that's very schizophrenic. On the one hand, I'm supposed to... why did that thing flip? I'm supposed to do what the customer asks me to do. On the other hand, they tell me 8 hours and that's it. And then they tell me if you can't do the 8 hours per day, make sure it's not more than 40 a week. And how are you supposed to do that in a week like last week, where you have 24 working hours on the clock for just 2 days? Because all that travel time, the whole 13.5 hours on the train, they count as working hours. So yeah, I have to get rid of them somehow. In the middle of planning this madness. This is going to be so much fun next month, believe me. What else is new? This morning conversations in my bedroom. Don't worry, this is not going to be TMI, it's just going to be funny. The boyfriend and I, we are actually not early risers. We usually are night owls. But on Tuesdays, when I have to travel, I have to get up at 5 in the morning. I usually don't sleep too well the night before. I think that's just my brain doing overtime, trying to make sure I don't oversleep, and in consequence not letting me sleep at all sometimes, which is also not a good thing, because then I have to say to my customer, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to make the drive. I don't want to kill myself. So this usually means on Tuesday nights I go to bed very early, and I usually don't hear the boyfriend go to bed, because that can be very, very late in his case. He is becoming a bit of an insomniac right now, which worries me a bit. But this morning I got up, and to my surprise, from the other side of the bed there was a "Good morning. Please be careful in the kitchen. I broke the faucet." What? You broke the faucet. He somehow managed to break that thing last night. I didn't hear anything. I must have been dead asleep. He tried to fix it as best as he can. The first thing this morning was, "Be careful in the kitchen." All right, yeah, the kitchen is not my first stop once I get up. It's not even the second or third. I think I see the inside of my kitchen for the first time for the day. Ah, there it is. I had wondered where that had gone to. For the first time of the day around 9 or 10 o'clock. Because, as I said, I'm not much of an early breakfast person, so I don't eat breakfast. So yeah. He will be back from work tonight around 7:30, which is in an hour and a few minutes. And then we probably have to go to the DIY store and get a new faucet for the sink. Oh man, sometimes. But this has to be one of the most surreal morning conversations I've ever had with him. Yeah, and I know this was very random. I think I'm not very good at doing these WIP chats without writing down what I want to talk about, but I wanted to try, so let's take it as a science experiment. Oh, don't know if you could hear that, but I'm very hungry right now. My stomach is not happy. So what else is there to talk about? The topic of this wonderful vacation with the in-laws is still an open topic. He still hasn't talked to them, still hasn't told them that I don't have vacation and I'm not going to come. I have no idea when he's going to do that. We will wait and see. Yeah. Bottom line pretty much is he's being a coward about it. This is not going to serve him well. But who am I to say anything? No one listens to me, right? Just don't get it. I just really don't get it. Alright guys, I really lost my train of thought. I think I've been on it too long today and I'm also very hungry. So I guess I'm calling it quits now. Close to 40 minutes is not too bad, right? It probably was a very boring WIP chat, but please feel free to let me know. And again, if there's something you would like me to talk about, please let me know. I'm very open to suggestions, so... As you might have noticed, I'm not always very good at free talking, but it might be because I'm still super tired. That's another thing about traveling. It takes so much out of me, and it takes me so long to get my energy back up, and my energy has been very low anyway. So yeah. Just leave me alone with this traveling bullshit. I don't like it. Alright guys, like I said, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Maybe even leave a comment below. I just love reading and replying to your comments. I hope I'm still caught up at the point of recording this. I am. So I hope I still am at this point. And yeah, we will talk to each other hopefully soon. The next WIP chat is hopefully not weeks away. And until then, enjoy whatever you're doing, have a good time, and we will talk soon. Bye bye.